Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have been busy, creating online materials, and I've also written a study guide for the ICT course, which is on Amazon now. Go and check out my study guide if you're interested in having a guide that can help you study everything from chapter 1 to 21. I cover everything in a way where it's not lots and lots of pages and information. I get straight to the point, so it's pretty useful. So yeah, that's what I've been focusing on, and then I'm going to be writing some other study guides for some of the other technology courses, like the computer science course and a few others. So I will update you when those ones are out, but for now, if you're interested in the ICT one, that one's on Amazon, like I said, the link's in my bio. So that's what I've been doing. But now I wanted to focus again on getting some more content on my YouTube channel, so getting some more videos to help you guys with your exams. I want to keep up to date, so that's why I think it's important that I create some new videos, and also to create run-throughs of past papers. So this video will be on the 2023 Specimen paper, and it's paper 2, and it's going to focus on document production, this video. The next video will be on databases, and then the one after that will be in presentations, and then after that I will focus on paper 3. Yeah, I hope that's not been too much information, but I just wanted to give you a bit of an intro to what's been happening. So I'm going to get on with the paper now. We're going to start with the evidence document, which is extremely important. It's where you put all of your screenshots showing what you've done, so the examiner can check off, obviously, and give you the marks that you need. So first thing, actually, before we get on with the evidence, is just to talk about the source files. It tells you what source files you should have. Please make sure when you start your exam that you have all the source files that you should have. So you check them here. And then also make sure you've saved them in one folder in your work. Yeah, that's really important. So when you're saving, everything's in one place. It just makes it easier for you. Okay, so now we're going to get on with the evidence document. So you need to open this evidence file, and it says you need to put your details on every page of the document. When it says every page, that means that you've got to make sure that your details are in the header or the footer of the document, because your evidence document, depending on how big your screenshots are or how many you have, it could be 20 pages of evidence, and that's fine, that's okay, but you must make sure that your details are on every page, so you have to put that in the header and footer. When we've done that, it says we need to save the evidence document with the same file name, but adding your candidate number to the file name. Open up the header and double click in the top of the page to open up the header, or the bottom if you want to put your details in the bottom. I've just copy and pasted that information. Obviously you'll have to type in your actual details here, but just for quickness I've just done it like this. And now we're going to save this. So save as, and you want it to be in your folder. So we want to call it, I'm just going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to change the type to Word, and save. So that's there. So you're ready now to move on to the next part of the paper. So it says now we're going to work on this document. We're going to edit a report for this company, Tawara Yacht Brokers, and they use a corporate house style for all their documents, and paragraph styles must be created and applied as instructed. So I'll explain that as we get there. So the first thing it says is, using suitable software package, open this file, SPO2 Super, and then we're going to make some changes to the layout of that document. So here is our document, so let's go ahead and see what we need to do. It says the page setup is set to A4 landscape orientation with 2 centimeter margins. Don't make any changes to those settings, so those should stay as they are. It says save the document in your work area with the file name broker. Make sure it is saved in the format of the software you are using. So it must be saved as a Word document in this case, because that's what I'm using. If you're using any other word processing software, you need to save it in the same format as that software. Place in your evidence document a screenshot to show this file has been saved. Make sure there is evidence of the file type. So that's important that we show that. So I'm going to go ahead and save the document as broker and save it in the correct format. So again, file, save as, make sure it's saved in the folder. So this should be called broker. And it's a Word document, it should be saved as. I'm going to take a screenshot here. I'm just using print screen and save. And then I'll go to my evidence and I'm going to put in a screenshot here. I'm just going to crop that down. You might have the snipping tool, which I prefer actually. So maybe next time I'll use that. But here's my evidence. When you put your screenshots in, don't make them too small. Like I said, don't worry about the number of pages of evidence you have. Most important thing is that your evidence shows the correct thing and what you've done clearly. So you want to make sure that your screenshots are of a good size. And another thing I'd recommend is saving. So just Control S, keep saving your files as you go, because there could be a network failure, there could be software failures locally on your computer. So you need to make sure that you're constantly saving your work so that you don't lose any work. Alright, so we've gone ahead and we've done that now. So I'm going to go down to the next part. So it says, place in the footer of the file broker automated page numbers left aligned and your details right aligned. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So in the footer, so I'm just going to scroll down to the footer of my document, double click. Now, page numbers, I can't remember if it said left or right. So left aligned page numbers and details on the right. So on the left, I need to put the page number. So I'm going to go ahead and footer. I'm going to select the 3-columned footer in here so that it gives me these areas to type in my details. So I'm going to go ahead and put my name, centre number, and candidate number on the right. Then I don't need this box, so I'm just going to remove it. And then here I'm going to put page number. And what you might find is if you use this option here, it can remove the whole of your the details in your footer, which we don't want. So what I do is I go to quick parts, field, and then I just go to page here, and then you can choose the format of the page numbers, and it will put the page number in without removing anything else. So if you check, you should see page 1, page 2, and your details are there. So I can go ahead and close the header and the footer now. Those details are there. I'm going to go back to my evidence and see what I need to do next. So it says, make sure that all alignments match the page margins. No other text is included in the header or footer area. The footer is displayed on all pages. So we've checked that now. And now I'm going to go down to the house style section, so section 3. So we need to create 2 house styles. We've got TY subhead and TY table. And it says we need to take a screenshot to show that we've defined the settings for the TY subhead style. So we only need to take a screenshot showing that, but obviously we might use the TY table later. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create the TY subhead style first. So that's sans serif 16 center, all capitals bold, single line spacing. I'm going to try and remember all of this, but I might not, so I might have to come back here. So I'm going to go ahead. Here is the styles pane on the home tab. So I'm going to click on this little icon here to bring out the styles pane properly. And I'm going to click on new style, which is this one with the little starburst in it. So click there, and this is going to be called TY subhead, and it's based on paragraph. Let me see, this should be based on normal, okay? And then we need to use sans serif, so I would just recommend using Arial. 16, oops, center aligned, bold, all capitals as well. So for all capitals, we need to go into the Format tab down here and go into Font, and you've got all caps. So you could have just gone into Font and changed all of these things in here. So that's completely up to you. I just did it that way. So single line spacing is already set to single here. And the points before, so I need to go into Format, Paragraph, and you can see before is set to 0, after I just need to change to 9. And again, you could change the line spacing here to single. That's fine also. So I've done that. I'm going to take a screenshot of this now. Now this section here is where you'll see the changes that you've made. And this is where the examiner should be looking for the evidence that you've done everything that you need to. So I'm just going to take a print screen of that and press OK. And that's now created my style here, and it's here ready for me to use. And I'm going to put a screenshot down here of step 3. And I can crop out the bits I don't need. You get the idea. So I'll just crop that. I can make it a little bit bigger, and that's there. The next one is, so I've put the screenshot in already, and now I need to do TY table, which is serif 11, center, italic, then singles. So again, new style, click on that, and this is called TY table, and that's based on normal as well. And it's a serif, so Times New Roman is fine. Center aligned, single line spacing, italic. Okay, so that's that one. Now it says you don't need to take evidence of this one, so I'm just going to go press OK on that one, and that's also been created. So that's done. So I'm just going to go back and see how we have to use these now. So it says display these custom style names as a list in the Style Manager Organizer, which we already have open. That's what I opened. Take a screenshot evidence to show that you've created names and saved these styles. Place this in your evidence document. So I'm going to do that now. So this is what you need to take a screenshot of. And if it doesn't show all your styles, you can just make it bigger. But all I need to show is TY subhead and TY table. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a screenshot of that, and just make sure that all your headings for your evidence are with the actual evidence themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and move the heading for this, so that you just want to make it as easy as possible for the examiner to see what you've done. You don't want to give them any excuses not to give you marks. So that's with that, so everything's organised. You could obviously wait till the end to do that. I like to do it as I go, so that if I'm in a rush at the end, it's already done. So I'm going to go ahead and save that again, Control S. So now we're on step 4. It says the title, the style name, TY title has already been created, stored and applied to the title text. It says modify, so we're just making a change to the style that already exists. The TY title style, so only the following formatting is applied. So let's see. So for TY title, that should be sans serif 32, center, bold, underline, single, and should have a 6-point space after a paragraph. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So TY title is here. So we're going to click on this little drop down tab and modify, and that will open that. So we want that to be sans serif, so Arial 32. I'm just going to type it in, and it should be bold, not italic, and underlined. Bold and underlined. So sans serif 32, that's changed to 20, so I need to make sure that that's the right thing. Some strange things can happen when you're in the word processing software or any software, so you just want to always make sure that you double check. I'm just going to check again. Sans serif 32, center, bold under that, so I need to make it centered, single line spacing, and a 6 point after a paragraph. So centered, and it is single line spacing, and I need to put, so go to format paragraph, then put a 6 point space after the paragraph. That's it. I'm going to take a print screen now. I'm not sure if I have to because I haven't read further down, but just in case I will. So yeah, so place in your evidence document a screenshot of the style settings for TY title to show that you have changed these. Right, so we've got up to step 5. So step 6, it says below the title, add a subtitle, draft report by, and put your name. And then it says the style name TY subtitle has already been created and stored. Apply this style to the text you entered in step 6. So we're going to type in after our title, draft report by with our name, and then add the TY subtitle style to that piece of text. So underneath here, draft report by and a colon. I'm just going to put my name, and then I'm going to go ahead and format that as subtitle, not subheading, it said subtitle. So you want to make sure that's the correct style. Then it says change the page layout, so we're on step 8. Change the page layout so that the subheading, global analysis, and all the following text is displayed in 2 equally spaced columns with a 2 centimeter spacing between the columns. So I'll do that now. I'm just going to highlight global analysis and all the text below, and then I'm going to go to layout and columns, and then go to more columns because we need to change the spacing. So 2 columns, and the spacing should be 2. And let's just check. Yeah, so we've got from global analysis all the way down 2 columns with 2 centimeter space. I'm going to go ahead and save that again and then see what's next. So it says identify the 5 subheadings in the document and apply the TY subhead style to each one. So I'll do that. It should be fairly obvious what they are, but let's have a look. So the first one is global analysis, and I just hold down the control button to select multiple things. So we've got sales here as well, so that's 3. And we've got charters 4 and conclusion 5. So now I need to go back to the home tab and I need to make that subhead style, all 5 of those. So that's done. Control S to save, and now I'm going to go back. So it says locate the table in the document. Sort the data in the table into ascending order of length in meters. So here's my table. If I click on this icon here, it will select the table. So I want to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select only the, I'm not going to select the headings. I'll go to layout and sort, and then it will give me the option of what I can sort. So I'm going to sort by column 2, so descending order of length in meters. So there we go, that's sorted now. And then see what we have to do next. So it says insert a new row between Germany and the United Arab Emirates. and enter the following data into this row. So China is the country, length in meters 900, number of yachts 26. So between Germany and the UAE. So I'm going to just click where the UAE is and right click on my mouse pad and go to insert columns above, insert rows above, sorry, and then I'm going to put in China, and it was 926. So that's that. Again, I'm saving. I know I save a lot, but I've seen many a student lose their work because they didn't save, so really important. Okay, then it says apply the TY table style to the table and make sure no data is wrapped within the table. That means that all your data should be on one single line. It should not be going onto two lines. Grid lines are displayed, so we need to put the borders in. All the borders and data fit within the column width, so we need to make sure of that, and there is a 6-point space after the table. So I'm going to go ahead and check all of that now. So I'm going to put the borders in first, so it just makes it easy for me to see. So my borders are in. I need to make sure, so where it says United States of America, that needs to be wrapped. But as you can see, the width of my table doesn't fill the column width yet. And it says that it shouldn't go over the column width, but it can be within. So we can should easily be able to open all of these out. So all the text is not wrapped. So I need to open up number of yachts, that column. So that's on a single line. So it should look like this. There shouldn't be any wrapped text. I've got my borders in. It fits within the column width. You can always check the margins. So, but you can see quite clearly that the table is smaller than our paragraph width. So it's within the column width there. And we need to put a 6-point space after the table. So let me just go in. So here, I'm just going to press return on the keyboard. Now that's put in an 11-point space, so I'm just going to change that to 6. So that's made that a 6-point space now there. And then go back. So it says format the first row of the table to be center aligned over 3 columns. So I'll go ahead and do that. So this row here, we need to merge the cells. So merge cells and center aligned, I believe it said. I'm going to check that again. Center aligned over 3 columns, so that's done. The other thing I wanted to make clear is that I changed the table style of the font, the text in the table to TY table. So make sure that you do that as well. I'll just show you what it looks like. So I'll just scroll up. So it should look like this. So it's a bit smaller with an italic font style, which is what was set already. So make sure you do that. Now it says we need to put this image, SPO2 yacht, and place this below the subheading charters. So we need to look for that subheading and put that in the correct place. Put it here because that's directly underneath charters. Insert. Here is the picture. Okay, so now we need to see what editing we need to do to that. So it says reflect the image so that the yacht points to the left. So if you click on the image and you go to format, then you've got this little icon here, and it's the rotate objects icon, and if you flip horizontal, that will then reflect the image so it's now pointing to the left. So now we've reflected the image, and it says format the image so that it is resized to a width of 6 centimeters with the aspect ratio maintained. I've explained aspect ratio in my study guide and in other videos, but it basically means that the height and width remain relative to each other, so you're not distorting the proportions of the original image, they remain the same. So that's what we need to do here, and I'll show you how to check for that. We also need to make sure it's aligned to the left column margin and the top of the paragraph starting Tawara Yacht Charter, and the text wraps around the image. So let's go ahead and check all of that. So when we go into format again, if I bring out the size pane, you'll see lock aspect ratio, so you need to make sure that's still ticked. That will make sure that the original proportions of the image remain the same. I'm just going to check, is it the width or the height? It's the width, 6 centimeters. So I'll go ahead and make that 6 centimeters. So it looks the same, it's just bigger. So it hasn't been distorted at all. And we need to make sure that the text wraps around the image. So if we go into wrap text, it should be typed. And then now you can see that the text is wrapped around the image. It should be aligned to the left margin of the first column. I'll just show you where it says that. And at the top of the paragraph starting a Tawara Yacht Charter. So let's just double check that that's done. Yeah, so it should be aligned with, there's a Tawara Yacht Charter, the text, and it's aligned with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and save that. And I think we're almost there for document production. So I think we're just now doing our final checks. It says spell check and proofread the document. Make sure that the table is not split over 2 columns or pages. There are no widows or orphans, so you've got to make sure there's no words that are separate from a paragraph or sentences separate from a paragraph. One sentence. 2 or 3 is okay, but if it's one sentence, you've got to move that sentence so it's part of the paragraph. Make sure there are no blank pages. All the styles are applied consistently, and their spacing is consistent between all items. Don't skip these steps, because what the examination board is trying to do, I think, is they're trying to help you to make sure that you double check everything that you should have done. So it's really important that you do take your time at the end and go over all of these bullet points. So I'm just going to go ahead and make my checks. If I go into review and spelling and grammar, it will run a check for everything. Right, so my spell and grammar check is complete. Now I need to go in and check that my columns are all spaced properly. I need to sort out this orphan, here. So I'm just going to move this paragraph so that this is together. Go down, check through. See, charters also should be with its paragraph, so I'm going to have to move that. That should be there, and that's it. And make sure I've got no blank pages, so it's over 2 pages, and that's it. So I'm just going to give that a final save, and that's the end of the document production part of this video. I hope it was helpful. Do let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to cover within document production. Obviously I'm going to go through other past papers, so I will cover other areas within document production. But if there's any paper that you found particularly challenging, send me a message or comment on this video and let me know. So good luck with your exams, and I will see you in the next video.